What's going on, guys? Splatoon 3 just got another balance update, and this one feels very much like Nintendo stepping back, looking at how the last big changes played out, and tuning a bunch of stuff with a much lighter touch. The first thing people are probably going to notice is the blaster adjustment, because that one hits the way a lot of fights actually feel moment to moment. Nintendo reduced the size of blaster explosion collision detection with opponents, and they said this is meant to partially reverse the improvement from the earlier update, so it lands somewhere between the old behavior and the more generous version we had before. That matters a lot because blasters have been one of those weapon classes that can feel super annoying when the hit detection is a little too forgiving. At the same time, a few weapons got some quality of lifestyle buffs. The N-ZAP 85 and N-ZAP 89 now have ink splatter falling around the player's feet more easily, which should help them paint more naturally. The L3 nozzle nose family got a speed boost on shots and a longer flight distance, so it should feel a bit snappier. Luna Blaster and its variants got less scatter while jumping, and Clash Blaster got a bigger version of that same treatment, which is nice for consistency. Undercover Brella uses less ink now, and Heavy Splatling has slightly less area covered by its spray droplets and impact splatter, so that one got a bit more of a trim than a boost. On the special weapon side, there are a few changes that really stand out. Trizooka does more damage to big bubblers, Zipcaster uses less ink when zipping, Inkjet does more damage to big bubblers, Booyah Bomb takes less damage from Splatanas while the armor is up, Splatter Color Screen can be placed farther away, and Crab Tank got a smaller cannon explosion radius. That Crab Tank change is especially interesting because it is not a massive rewrite, but it does make the special a little less forgiving when you are trying to tag someone around cover. Nintendo also adjusted special points on a handful of weapons. New Squiffer, Snipe Rider 5B, Slosher Deco, Heavy Edit Splatling Nouveau, and Custom Wellstring V all cost a little less to earn, while .52 Gal, Luna Blaster Neo, Dynamo Roller, Gold Dynamo Roller, Order Slosher Replica, and Dread Ringer all cost more. So this is one of those updates where some weapons are getting a quicker path to their special, while others are being asked to work a little harder for the same payoff. They also shortened the window for a no contest if someone disconnects immediately after the start of a battle in Splat Zones, Tower Control, Rainmaker, and Clam Blitz, which is the kind of detail that does not sound huge until it saves a lobby from getting weird. The matchmaking changes are probably the other big story here, especially for people who play X Battles a lot. Nintendo changed team divisions, so weapons with similar preferred ranges are less likely to end up stacked on the same team, and that should help reduce those matches where one side feels weirdly lopsided in terms of weapon coverage. They also said this update is part of a longer process, with the next update focusing on multiplayer balance again, so this does not feel like the final pass by any means. What I like about this patch is that it does not try to reinvent the whole game. Instead, it tightens up specific pain points. It smooths out some overbuffed stuff from earlier, gives a few underused weapons a little more life, trims down a couple of specials that were doing a bit too much, and makes matchmaking less likely to hand you a team comp that feels cursed before the match even starts. That is the kind of update that can quietly change how the game feels every day, even if the patch notes do not look wild at first read.